Good morning, everyone. I had to join you from my phone while I worked to get this laptop to turn on. How's everybody doing? I do, Viv. I seen that he was back through. Justin, what are we on? Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to try. Fire reindeer. Hey, Opal, Diana, Caroline, Gary, Queen Bella. All right, this thing's going to work. How's everybody doing? So, there were some interesting things that took place. Hey, Jameson, that I am going to show all of you. Okay, here we go. It's working now. Hey, Christy, be still. Jill, Teresa, Julie's, Kathy, One Step Closer, Billy, Chica, Jason, Claire, Life Rewind It, Red, Monica, good morning, good morning. Okay, this is working. So I'm going to switch over. Lord have mercy. I'll tell you, what a weekend. Hey, Shay B, Casual Art. Butter. They're like bad pennies. I don't know much about him, to be honest. Hey, Mrs. Fletcher. Teresa, we did see your comment. That was funny. Hey, Angel, Stephanie, Bubbles, and Jay. All right, let's get this bad boy up and operating. Hey, it's me, Tiffany. AT and J, Kels, and Pooh Bear. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Hey, Mallow from Canada. I love it. Hey, Kim, Mo and Co, girl next door. Are going to switch devices now. Okay, I think we are here and we are working. Hey, Miriam, my guest. Rabbit Hole Robin, Crystal, Alexander. How's everybody doing? I haven't been feeling too well, so I haven't been live, but I needed to snap out of it and come live with all of you. Hey, baby boo. See, I've learned this thing where if I know I'm going to come on here and say something stupid in response to stupid, I just log off. But I want to show you all the perfect example of stupid. Hey, Wanda, before we get into what we're really here for, I'm going to show you a perfect example of what I've been talking about when people say, oh, there's no proof. Okay. So I know Seth Rogers has been being excuse me, an absolute pig on social media, right? I think we all know that at this point. Okay. An absolute pig. And the guy is still a suspect in a missing child's case. So there's also that. Now people defend Seth, and the people that are defending Seth are only doing so because of the people they dislike. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of people operate on here. It's really a sad thing. Hey, JJ, it's it gets to the point where it's no longer about the victim, and we have reached that point a long time ago. And I know I played my part into it, right? I'm not stupid or unaware. Hey, new account. Hey, Twiddledee. Hey, that coon. Cray cray. Winnie, hello. Titanium. Hey, Mrs. Mississippi from all the way down south. Hey, Steven's Adventure. Exactly, Susan. Hey, Duchess. Oh, Sabotage, girls, good to see you. You actually, so you would know some of the history here of what I'm about to show. Um, so of course, after Queen Bee went live. Queen Bee did a fantastic live where a bunch of amazing women came up on the panel and they shared their experiences with Brittany. And for somebody like me who's been on the receiving end of Brittany for many years, it was really refreshing. It was like, oh my goodness, finally people are speaking up. And with that, of course, they all attack me, and this is what they do. So they tried playing certain things and they tried dispelling me and saying it's not true. But ironically, these people are so dirty that they actually made true what they were claiming weren't true. Um, so one of the things is, uh, you know, my daughter. These people speak on my daughter. They do it often. She's a beautiful girl. She has nothing to do with YouTube, and but they can't help themselves. This is what they do. So give me just a second. It should come up. I'm going to play you guys something before we get into what's important. Hey, Jor, what the crack? Because I am fully aware that this type of nonsense is just nonsense. But when you got people over there screaming that they're victims of people and they're so innocent, everybody else has done so wrong, these type of things I think are just important. I know others will likely disagree because it's not that big of a deal, but it's annoying. Oh, yeah, Susan, the thing they claim never happens, I hate when I email myself something and it takes forever to come through. So we're going to do this again. So I noticed since Voices has left the crew over there, she gets blamed for a lot. Freezer Bird, hey Curvy, thank you for becoming a member again. And Voices is not innocent by any means. She's done a lot, she's said a lot, and these people knew that of her when they allowed her over there to spew her filth. But they are now going to blame her for things that actually weren't her. And this is what they do. They pick a target, they put all of their blame on that person, and they take zero accountability for their parts. Thank you, Michelle P. Oh, Krista, I'm so glad you did as well. Okay, so it's going to take forever to come up if it does. 30 months, AT. Holy hell, girl. Yeah, girl next door. That's what they do. They use my name to try to get themselves some attention, and they deny everything they've ever done to me, and they just kind of play like the parts where I sound like a maniac. And it's like, yeah, of course at that point I'm a maniac because you keep going at me. Like you keep going at my family, keep going at me. Sorry, I'm just gonna do it this way. I was hoping that these comments came up, but I can do it another way. So of course they don't respond to Queen, but they'll talk about mine. So over here, you're going to see this person who knew exactly who and what Voices was, who re-accepted her. And then this is Voices' right-hand man, okay? This one right here. This is the woman who doxed another creator's newborn granddaughter onto this program. So, to this platform. So people get angry, like that I said I would show photos, despite I never did. These people actually have. These people have definitely put out people's children's photos and such. I'm going to play this. And I can tell you that the money that was spent on Layla Santinello, my time that was spent on Layla Santinello was worth every minute.
Oh, look, Voices. The Voices said it, Angela. Again. Then why isn't she taking the Voices? Apparently.
So they're saying nobody called my daughter a whore, right? And then they follow up with saying it was Voices. It was never Voices. Hey, Bat Brat, 29 months. My goodness, I love you guys. Thank you guys for the gifted memberships and becoming a member, Mombi. I'm sorry, I was on the other screen. So they're going to sit here and say it was Voices. It was never Voices. It was actually somebody else, but I'm going to show you.
Apparently it said a lot of shit, right? So that's who she needs to take her shit out on, right? Instead of quote.
Now look at this comment. So they said about my daughter being gangbanged. Whoever said that about her daughter, they know who said it. They're going to blame Voices. It wasn't Voices. Then this person writes, maybe she was while you were here writing on YouTube, GW. So they then go on and say exactly what they claim they've never said. So you're going to say that my daughter's being gangbanged. Meanwhile, these people go live about me for 8 to 9 hours. I kid you not. 8 to 9 hours almost daily, and they record every stream I do. But they'll tell you all, my guests, and BJ actually tells this person, thank you. BJ actually advertises this person who I'm going to show you more about them in a second.
Quote, they, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. I've got a mouth on me, okay? But you will never find a screenshot where I have said anything disparaging about Jessica's children. And she can't say the same about mine.
The woman speaking right there is actually the woman who dug into my entire family tree, passed it all around, had it doxxed, and then she also dug in and found the social media account of my minor daughter that led to the allegations of her being a whore because she had a picture of herself in a bathing suit. So it's funny, she says she actually uploaded my daughter's social media account and said it was teaching a sleazeball, right? But she's going to say she's never said anything disparaging. Okay. Okay. Okay.
No, she can't. She has said some very disgusting things about your daughter.
Yeah. So if she
I made one comment about her daughter that was absolutely disgusting. I said it in private. I should have never said it. It was horrific. I said it in private, though. Again, this is a woman who has literally doxed my entire family. Actually, at one point, I was being accused of being some woman I wasn't.
whatever, it's just crazy to me that she had a prime opportunity to confront voices.
It wasn't.
And
You can
It wasn't voices that said it, and I'm going to show proof of that.
back that up too. That's not just saying it like she says. You can actually back up what she said about your daughter.
Yeah.
It wasn't voices.
Right.
Maybe she was while you were. Yeah.
So they actually, this person actually agreed with that maybe my daughter was being gangbanged by college men while I was on YouTube. You hear that, right? So these same people who claim they've never done anything, they only show my reaction, they never show their poking, right there just again said that my daughter was likely being gangbanged by college men, this time while I'm live on YouTube. I am live on YouTube during the morning time and usually for less than 3 hours. These people sit on panels with younger kids for 8 to 9 hours and they stalk my every move. But yes, my children, my daughter, right? My teenage daughter. So now I'm going to show you all who actually said it. Sorry, forgive me. I get so angry when it comes to my kids. And I think everybody would. Now I'm going to play the chat over here because I tried emailing myself the comments, the screenshots, and I just was not able to. All right. So I don't have the original screenshot of it because I tried to move away from these people and their filth. So I don't have the original screenshot, but I do have the woman admitting that she said it. You get tired after a while of these people like constantly going at you, but they never, ever, ever admit what they've done. Unless one of my mods can try sending me the screenshots that I sent you. It would just be a little bit easier than showing it this way. But I'm going to prove who said it and that they basically admitted they said that. So we're going to start over here. You're going to see right here. I say, you called mine a whore. She isn't, right? That's my comment. It's my comment right there on the screen. Keep an eye on the comments. I don't know why they're not sending to myself. I never called her daughter the M word, and you're going to see I confront her on that, and she acknowledges it. And actually, other people in the chat say the same thing, like, never heard Granny do that. Nonetheless, hers is a full-grown ass adult, like, I think my age. Just where I showed the proof that she's the one that's made up an entire story of my daughter being gang banged. So I said this backwards. I've been asked for weeks for my daughter's privacy to not be invaded and not be spoke about. Hey, Zan. Obviously I wrote that backwards. I was really upset. Again, this is about my minor children. Okay. Yeah, these are grown adults that are civilized, Mike, that always want to show you guys me when I reach my breaking point, but they never want to acknowledge what they have done to get to that point. And that's how it's always been. It's how it's always been. All right, so she goes, I didn't say anything about your daughter until you decide to lie about mine. I also started my comment with, would she appreciate if I said? So it was clear that I was proving a point, which it actually was not the way it was said by any means. It was an entire elaborate story made up. So here we go. I don't remember Granny ever saying Scotty's daughter is an M word because I didn't. Basically, it's just this woman admitting that she made an entire story up saying that I said, I don't recall saying that, Scotty, but yours is an adult. No, have you not doxed my family, my kid's father, and much more? Isn't it convenient when people want theirs off limit? And I said, imagine making up an elaborate story that a teenager was being gangbanged by college men. So anyway, I'm just showing that because they're trying to blame voices. It wasn't voices. It had nothing to do with voices. Every time they fall out with somebody, they make that person their scapegoat. Voices has said and done a lot of horrendous shit to me and mine. But in this case, it wasn't voices. But I like the way that they say nobody said it. The chat is saying, no, it was said, but it was said by voices. And then the channel herself says it about my daughter. Like, that is who these people are. That is who they are. So one more time, just for prosperity. Let's look one more time. Voices said it. Voices said it. I should have known it was voices. After them denying anybody said it, though, right? Again, this is a woman who doxed a creator's newborn child on this platform.
Anything disparaging about Jessica.
Sorry, the sound wasn't on. Good morning, Natalie. Yeah, voices is now their scapegoat.
I'm going to play this. And I can tell you that the money that was spent on Layla Santinello, my time that was spent on Layla Santinello, was worth every minute.
Oh, look, voices. So voices said it, Angela. Again. Then why isn't she taking the voices?
So again, they go from nobody said it to voices said it. And oh, here they are. Here they are, sorry. And it turns out, no, it was they know who it was, but they're still friends with that person. Sky's first video is digging into my family. Let's be realistic here. Then she's telling me my daughter's an adult and mine's not even an adult now, Goofy. The chat's agreeing, mine's a minor. And I said, I'm just so tired of excuses. Imagining and creating a story of a minor being gangbanged by college men is sick. It's sick. But they're friends with these people, so they'll never admit that it was them. So now they'll push the blame on voices. It wasn't voices. So just, proving my point there that it was absolutely said about my daughter. The woman that's playing is very obsessed with me. You saw that this person was her moderator. This is how obsessed she is with me. Dee Dee is sick. Dee Dee's the obsessed one. You may need to strike Dee Dee again. Dee Dee is sick twice. I bet this is Dee Dee. And then she even tells me that I need to get an RO on this woman. But now she's friends with this woman. You see how that works? And then, she's also friends with Brittany J. So let's get into that. I told you all that Brittany's been doing this to me for years. I think that's where the profile pic came from, but very manipulated. This is Brittany's current friend. And then I'll get into, absolutely, that guy smokes. Shoot me an email. Or you're welcome to come up on panel anytime. Then I'm going to get into other stuff here. But I just want to prove a point of how these people operate. If they like you, they defend you. They obviously supposedly lie for you. When you have a falling out, then they put everything on you. How can GW allow her friend to do this and her name is ridiculous? I saw. Jessica had nothing to do with it. I've been getting blamed for Brittany's shit for years now. For years now. Absolute years. I saw. Jessica had nothing to do with it. Anytime I fucking move along, they attack more every single fucking time. Great video on LH, Angela. And YouTube doesn't help. It's sickness. Gave me permission. We should be able to fucking comment and chat with people we feel comfortable with and not be used elsewhere. I'm waiting on the perfect time to put the one up of her digging in Natasha's local group and saying she's a racist homophobe. So this is the woman that was on panel saying, nobody ever spoke about my daughter. This woman is now friends with her. Isn't that funny? They're now friends with these people. Brittany didn't do anything for morals. She used Lindsay as a weapon. And of course, Megan left Mod Chat to get her way. I said she always did that to us. Yep. I don't like nor trust Brittany, but her being doxxed is fucked up. Her full name was in those videos multiple times. Jax absolutely gave her that Mod Chat. Here's where Brittany kept raising her wish list before she was even a creator. Brittany J, as just a subscriber, had a wish list for Christmas as a subscriber. It's always me. It's always me, and I'm so tired of it. Brittany raised it to 600 now. I'm sorry, but this is so fucking tacky. And no one is questioning. It's very gross, and there is no knowing where it's going, unlike a wish list. Yup, why couldn't she do a wish list like others? And then you'll see the fundraiser. This is Brittany J's fundraiser that she kept raising. And Brittany raised hers. Where's hers? Right here. This is when Brittany was, again, just a subscriber. The bitch was grifting. Okay? While she was while she was just a good old subscriber. Yes, that smoke. Hold on one second. Again, DD is sick. DD's the obsessed one. You may need a striker. She told me I need to get an RO on DD. Brittany has never stopped trying to get people to pull support. Okay? Just because this person now sits with Brittany and validates her doesn't mean what I've been saying for years has been a lie. She's the lie. They're the liars. I'm trying to find a good clip of her saying, I don't talk about Jessica. She says it nearly every live she does. Again, this has been going on for years. And she's worked with Lana, Brutal Mafia. Basically, anyone they don't like is working with Jess. Yep. A restraining order, Running Bear. Again, this has been going on for years. Brittany is really playing the victim right now. I just start listening. What happened? Nothing. She's being dramatic. Here I come in. What's she claiming happened? Brittany's really playing the victim. This is June of 2022. I've been dealing with this bitch and her sneaky, conniving ways for years. She sounds like a 5-year-old. I talk about whatever I want to talk about. What a effing joke. Now that's projection. Poor, pathetic girl. Not sure why it takes so long. She keeps accusing you of what she's been doing. Right there. She keeps accusing you of what she's been doing. This has been going on for years. Years. She keeps accusing you of what she's been doing. Again, just because this person switches her tune now doesn't mean it's not true. That's the wish list. I think we did everything. I had nothing to do with it. I was being blamed. Again, that's where profile pic, but very manipulated. And that was all of those ones. So I wanted to prove my point that these people say nobody ever called my daughter a whore. Nobody made up a story of her being gangbanged by college men. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And then they went and said it again during the stream where they were meant to debunk it. It had nothing to do with voices. Nothing to do with voices. So anyway, let's move along. I just wanted to get that out of the way to prove a point. I think my point was proven. Give me 1 second to let you up. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Hey, so I've been I don't know if you guys know who I am. I used to actually be on a creator's platform a lot. I was a guest panel on T-Rev show a lot.
Oh, okay.
And he betrayed me, and I mean it was just the most silliest shit I've ever heard in my life for the reasoning, because I deal with autism. I was diagnosed at 11, so I have a problem with like kind of understanding people's like real true intentions or just like how they perceive themselves. And so I spent a good time on his show, as a guest, and people started to like me coming up, giving my actual insight of the case and everything involving Sebastian. And people started asking me to create my own channel because they wanted to hear me talk about the case a lot more.
Right.
So when I did that, I was instantly betrayed. He said that I had all his haters on my show. It turned into something nasty. So there might be some people in your chat that might kind of know who I am, possibly.
I think they're asking, did T-Rev have you dox Cluminati for him? Did you dox Clue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was on the like, I guess T-Rev asked you to do it, or you did it on your own?
He asked me to do it. He asked me to do it. And I normally don't do that stuff, but I was very severely manipulated into doing stuff that I didn't even want to do at all. Because I mean, there was gonna be backlash if I didn't do it. Obviously, there was a lot of slandering going on. It was just behind the scenes. It's not what everyone thinks it is. There's a lot of dark shit going on, especially with this case, that I feel like they're all connected. And when I say they're all connected, I'm talking about certain creators, Seth Rogers, the Proudfoots. They're all connected.
I believe that. I believe that they were all in the same house when they had their fallout as well.
Yes, I can confirm that. Okay, so there was a point in time. This happened maybe last month. It was actually my last time I was on his show. And he pulled Seth up, and this is after he had already made the big deal about the whole purchasing a pistol, the whole pistol incident.
Yeah.
And I remember it was very weird because like he sent the link out to bring him up. I'm like thinking in my head, okay, this is about to get bad and crazy. This is not going to go good. I don't want to be a part of a panel where I'm going to be arguing with Seth. It's not going to look good for Sebastian's case. It's not going to look good at all. I don't want to do any of that stuff. But he come up, and I noticed something off the rip that this was kind of weird to me. So I had been to his house before, T-Rev's.
Okay.
I went out there one time, got a bad vibe, and then never went back. And I noticed that when Seth came up, Seth was actually on Michaela's porch.
That's what I thought too. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I was like, wait a second here. How if these two are actually really arguing with each other and have a hatred for each other and exposing one another, why is Seth there? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like, why would Seth be on the carport right now while he's in the house? Like, what's going on here? And then that's when I started noticing, okay, I'm not being told some truth either here. I'm being brought into this situation to where I could be the scapegoat and take the fall for this. Or somehow it's going to come back to me. People are going to say, oh, yeah, Smoke, you were involved with T-Rev, so this, and this. It's not the case. I had no idea for that even happening. And yes, I will say this too. I do apologize for doxing Cluminati. It was
Thank
not
you.
something I wanted to do. I don't support that stuff, but I can reassure everybody I was severely manipulated and doing stuff that I didn't want to do.
Now I have a question, because you said something about you would get backlash. What kind of backlash were you afraid of getting if you didn't dox her?
Humiliation publicly. So there were certain individuals that would make content about me that were fake. Like, that they would make fake chats to put them out on social media that would
Like blackmail and frame you?
yes.
Well, I know
Yes.
Seth Rogers has done that to others. I know Seth has done that. I don't know anything about T-Rev, but I know for without a doubt that Seth has framed people and blackmailed people.
Yes. Just blackmail. I mean, just constant. I mean, sometimes even life-threatening threats as well. It would get that that serious. Yeah, I felt like I was constantly under pressure. I can tell you right now, I've done some other things I'm not proud about either, and I will go ahead and I will admit to them. One of them is I came on his show one time, and he had sent me the messages. I have all receipts for those, asking me to come on when he was doing a live about the Madeline Soto case, for me to call in and to pretend to be Stephen Stern's friend, Rick Armstrong.
That was you?
That was me.
You son of a bitches. Oh my gosh. I knew that was so fake, but what? Oh, wow. So that was actually orchestrated between you two behind the scenes?
By him. And he told me to do it. And I didn't want to do it, but he asked me to do it so he can make more money and views.
Yeah. I mean, there
That-
has
that-
to be there has to be some accountability from you though, because you're not a dumb guy. You know what I mean? Like,
No, there's not.
it's,
I mean,
wow.
well, I mean, yeah, I feel like a shitty person for doing it, because I feel like always trying to help him, because it was always about him, always about making his show better, what I can do to make his show better. So someone asked, was I paid to do it?
Yeah.
As far as payment goes, he was going to try to set up to get me more viewers for my show, which, I mean, it's silly. It's so sickening to me. I ask I pray every day to God, because I feel like that's just sickening, and I hope that I get forgiven for it, because it's a sin that it eats away at me every single day. But I mean, I'm not going to not ever admit it. I own up to it. He never will, but I will. I own up to it. I think it's something that's not right at all. It's something terrible to do. But he has this kind of mob mentality to where all of his viewers think that he's just the saint. He does no wrong. He doesn't care about these cases. He's only there for a paycheck. That's all he wants, is the money and the views. And I mean, that right there is proof. And I have the screenshots. I have the receipts of the conversation. Him saying.
Were you also the fake neighbor in Sebastian's case?
No. Nope. The only one that I've ever done was the Rick Armstrong, and that was it. And
I know,
after,
to say like that was it, like that's about a little girl who was brutally sexually assaulted by her mom's boyfriend and then murdered. Like, that's a big deal to add
right?
that
I know. Oh,
underlying
I know.
severity.
Yeah, I know, and I hate myself for it. Best believe I hate myself for it. I'm disgusted with myself, but I wanted to admit that to you and to your viewers, to shed some light about some of the corruption that's going on true crime on YouTube.
I mean, yeah,
Especially,
for sure. There's a lot of corruption going on. Wow. So the fake mouse poop guy, that was all you. That's crazy.
fake mouse poop guy.
That's what, isn't that what the guy was saying? You, I guess, were saying with Madeline Soto's case. Like there was.
I don't remember that part. All I remember is him having me call in his show twice. And I remember this the first time I did it. He said, if I keep talking to you, I'm going to get over 100K views on this.
If you kept talking as the fake friend.
Yes.
Wow.
He said, more people want to hear you talk. Keep talking. 100K views guaranteed.
Were
And
those messages real where he was calling you like just an autistic guy and were
yes,
that was
yes,
real?
yes. Autistic fuckboy. Yes. That's what actually happened behind the scenes. Everyone thought that he cared about me as a friend because, he wanted to use my. No, I was not. I was not Brian Kohlberger.
No.
I was just Rick Armstrong. That's the only one I ever did, and I never did any more after that because I didn't want. It's just it was sick. I hate myself for even doing the Rick Armstrong one, but I'm not afraid to admit it because that's just who I am. I will admit to my actions. I will tell the truth because that's the right thing to do. He never will. But I can confirm you that I noticed that there was a definite shift in negative energy the moment I asked that question that Stevie just asked right there. At the house. I asked that same question and I noticed that
About the money, if Seth gave Michaela the money.
yes, about the
Okay.
money. And I noticed that right after I asked that question, the energy shifted. I noticed that I was definitely, I was going to get set up for a bunch of stuff. This person went on YouTube and told his viewers that I was a drug addict on his live panels. This is back during Idaho 4. I actually have a thyroid disease, and if I don't take my medication on a strict schedule, it can cause me to have seizures. There was an episode that he was filming of Idaho 4 that I was a guest panel, and I had a seizure live on his stream, and he told all of his viewers that I was a drug addict and doing drugs. Ruined my reputation by everybody. I lost all my viewers, all my subscribers. Everyone left my show because they said that I was a drug addict.
Who said that? If it
T-Rev.
was T-Rev. And then you
Mhm.
became friends with him again after that?
Yeah. I thought maybe people can change. Boy, was I wrong. Mm-mm. And I can tell you one thing too. To have a seizure on a live show and to immediately watch the chat completely eat you up and say, why is he on drugs? Why are you letting a drug addict on your show? It just blew my mind.
And he knew you had underlying medical issues?
Oh yeah. And he also messaged me after and said, hey man, I can't be letting you up on my stream anymore because people are saying that you're nodding out and you're a drug addict. And I'm like, dude, I was having a fucking seizure, man. What are you talking about? He's like, nah, man, I've had people come to me and tell me all this. And that part was all lies. He just wanted to get me off his show. I was embarrassing him. But the moment he realized that he could benefit off of my autism to benefit from on his show to make more views and more money, because now he has this alleged best friend that can relate to the Sebastian situation. I've got a best friend that has autism too. So now I can use him on my show as a guest and get more views. And sometimes he would, put in the tags autism or stuff like that. It was just so cringe. So cringe.
Why did you allow him to use you? Thank you, Vincent.
Honestly, so when I first met him years and years ago. I've known him since 2013. And you know, I knew a lot of people in the rap game that he was associated with, and I admired his skills. You know, I became good friends with him, but
His
I
rap
noticed.
skills? Like, sorry. Go on.
I mean, at the time, and I mean, I noticed that he was coming off as a decent person, but then there would always be something with this guy. There would always be something with him where he would, you know, have a reason to stop talking to me or to start drama with me for some odd reason. And it always escalated that. And I kept asking myself, why am I always giving people all these chances? You know, like right now, I'm really good friends with his brother, his real life brother. Okay. I've never had any arguments with his brother. I've had a great friendship with his brother. I've had a great friendship with his father. But, you know, him, it's always been just the run of the mill. It's always been, you know, me being scrutinized for my character so he can make money or views. And the moment I ask questions about if it was true that a certain individual gave Michaela $12,000, I noticed that both of their energies completely changed. Almost to a point to where it felt like that, why is this guy asking all these serious questions? Why does he want to know this truth for? Like, they weren't going to tell me yes or no, obviously. I could just tell by body language that it was 100% true. That he gave $12,000 to Michaela.
What caused the fallout for you two?
Okay, so I was on his show one night and we wrapped it up. I've had a lot of his viewers. They all told me that I should make my own show as well because people were interested in hearing my opinions on some of these cases and stuff. And so I created my own true crime channel. And I feel like that was kind of pissing him off because he didn't want me getting viewers at all on my own. And so we wrap up the show. People asked me if I would go live that night. I said, yeah, I'll go live on mine. So I went live on mine. I'm maybe 20 minutes in. I had two guests come up, you know, spending their ideas and stuff. And I had, then I noticed that, someone said, hey, have you seen your chat? Because I mean, usually if I'm in the middle of like a panel or something and I have two guests on or something and we're into like getting really into the subject matter, I don't pay 100% attention to the chat. I mean, I might graze over it and see if there's anything important to discuss, but I didn't see people coming in and out. You know, I had mods that would, you know, they would remove trolls that would come in. I mean, I was getting trolls every time I would go live. Within 5 minutes, I already have a Seth Rogers troll in my chat saying he found Sebastian's pee cut off.
Yeah, that's Rapper. He does in all our chats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have the Tony Max one pop up. A Chris
They-
Proudfoot one pop up.
Yeah, they come back to back to back to back. Yeah. Did you associate that with T-Rev is what you're saying?
No. I just thought it was weird that I saw only a few of those on mine and never saw them on his.
Okay.
So I'm in the middle of like talking to my guests, and then all of a sudden I look at the chat, and there's T-Rev in my chat saying, he's like, "Wow, Smoke, you over here with all my haters? Wow, all my haters are in your chat right now talking." I'm like, okay, well, first of all, dude, I don't know. I ain't been paying attention to the chat. If you've got somebody in here that's talking bad about you, let me know, and my mods will handle it. But he didn't say anything. He just left after that. And then he immediately unfriended me on social media. He took my mod wrench away from on his channel. Then I went into his Discord and saw all of his people in his Discord completely talking shit about me, saying that I was a snake, I was Two-Face. I'm over there starting to try to steal clout from him and use clout from his name onto mine, which is completely bullshit.
Well, wasn't that part of the deal anyway? Like, if you came up and pretended to be related to people in the profile, like if you trolled in these cases, then he would help you get subs.
Yeah, that was, but see, and his whole demeanor changed. I mean, it was just one thing after another. He's always been like a run of the mill with this guy. I helped him out a lot that people don't know about. Like, there was a time where he was in some trouble with the law. I pushed in money to help get him a lawyer. I mean, what kind of snake person does that to somebody? I mean, ain't that what a real friend would do? Is if you see a friend that's in some trouble, you would help them get, help that they need financially.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a good friend to have, but don't you think if you have a friend like that and you're doing slimy shit like that, that you're also slimy? You know what I mean? Like, if T-Rev's like in trouble with the law and he's like trolling these cases and you're participating, that kind of makes you on the same level as him. Like,
You're right. You are right. You're right. You have a solid point.
Because I don't fully understand what made it come out now, like what changed. So you're saying your channel started getting some traction. T-Rev came in, said, you got all my haters over here. He got pissed off, de-wrenches you, goes in his Discord. They're all bad mouthing you, and that was the fallout of your friendship right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
And you guys were real life friends, like you knew each other in person. Yeah.
Yep. It seems like things kind of took the turn for the worst when I started getting involved in the Sebastian case. Because I can tell you right now, he's been living over there in Tennessee for maybe 2 months at the most right now, maybe 2-3 months. He hasn't searched once.
Yeah.
He hasn't searched one time for Sebastian. Hasn't done any searching. The reason why, well, so when I went to his house, which is only one time.
This is when he's living with Michaela, right?
Yes.
Or wait, so did you live in the state that T-Rev came from, or do you live where he lives now?
I lived in the state where he came from.
Okay.
So one of the main reasons why I even took the trip was we talked about searching for Sebastian. Because I wanted to go out and help search. I was going to work out any kind of difference I had with Seth. There was talks that Seth didn't like me, all this and that. Of course, from him saying, "Oh yeah, Seth don't like you." It's like, well, I want to talk to Seth. I want to have a one-on-one talk with Seth. Talk to Seth about some stuff. Maybe I can talk to Seth about, asking what areas hasn't been searched yet, so we can maybe set up a perimeter. I'm 100% willing to go out, boots on the ground, and search for Sebastian. But then I started seeing all this stuff coming out about Tony Mathis. And I was like, okay, now look, I have no problem working with Seth, but I don't want to work with Tony Mathis. I don't want to work with this guy because of what he did to the Caleb Harris TikTok. That right there rubbed me wrong, because how can you set up a TikTok that is used to spread awareness for a missing person, Caleb Harris, and then when shit don't go your way, you completely hijack it and turn it into your own? That right there, he just completely burned down any support that he built to spread awareness for that missing boy. Now it's gone. Now it's a Tony Mathis personal TikTok account. And I made it in my mind. I was like, look, I do not want to work with Tony Mathis. I will do whatever it takes to work with Seth, but not him.
Right.
And I noticed that when I got involved talking about Sebastian, that's when I started to realize that there's darker things involved in this case than what people realize. Like, I'm 100% convinced that Sebastian is not deceased. I think Sebastian is being hidden somewhere, and they all three know where he's at.
What kind of games are you aware of that they would play like behind the scenes? Like was the whole gun incident, was that like fake? Or what do you know? Like we know T-Rev is asking you to call in and pretend to be people that know people in high profile cases, but do you know if Seth playing any games like that?
So, as far as the gun thing goes, what I can tell you that I have come to realize about is there's no proof or receipts on T-Rev's end with a gun.
Yeah, but Seth did admit it later.
Right. But I mean, just the whole thing with Seth being on the porch at the time of their, alleged bickering,
That's
alleged
weird. Yeah.
beef with each other. I mean, why would Seth be at the residence if, there's a heated situation? Because whenever I was on the panel with Seth and T-Rev, the whole gun thing already went down.
Right.
I mean, he had already called them out about the gun thing. So, I mean, at that point, it's like you have to realize, like, okay, so if this person just called him out on a gun, that could be a serious thing because that's a felony.
Right.
Having someone purchase a firearm is a straw purchase. That's a felony. Why would Seth be at the house? Because I mean, the way I seen it is there was tension boiling. I thought violence could erupt at any moment. Like people could get physically harmed over it. I mean, that's a serious allegation. Hey, this guy told me that he wanted me to buy him a pistol. Okay, like that's crazy. So it's like I when I saw and noticed that he was on the porch when he was on panel, I was like, okay, wait a
That's
minute.
fucking weird. Right.
Yeah, what's going on here? Like, what is really going on here? Like, is there really like? And then that's why I started asking myself: Is Sebastian really missing, or is he being held somewhere? Like, is there? I mean, there's a lot of corruption going on. I still think that the whole case itself is just it's weird to me how Sebastian has disappeared in thin air. No one's seen him. Nobody has done any searches. Seth hasn't searched since April.
No, he hasn't.
Proudfoots aren't searching. And now the Proudfoots have Faith in their custody, which is shocking because I mean, how could you get a young girl in your custody now after one of your kids is already missing, actively missing?
Because there must not be enough proof to say they did anything. That's why they would get custody. If there was proof of foul play or they had suspicion that they were involved, there's no way that he would get custody for the summer.
That's true. You're right. I just didn't think of it as, in that way, but that makes a
Now,
lot of sense.
when it came to what was the context behind Docs and Cluminati? Like what like give us, you know what I mean? Like how did that go down? Like did T-Rev come to you and say, hey, this bitch can you dox her for me? Did he come to you and complain about her and you said, oh, I got you, bro, I'll dox her? Like how did that come about?
He sent me, okay, so he got mad because she talked about him, and he's like, he sent me all the stuff. Hey, look, post her criminal history on your channel. She's over here doing this to me. Why don't you do this? And and for some reason I was brainwashed. I done it. I don't know why. I don't know why I even thought that it would be a good idea for me to post that stuff. I mean, what was it going to do for my case besides make me look like a bad person?
Well, yeah, that's what bad people do. I mean, doxing somebody can be really dangerous. It wasn't, that's a serious thing to do, especially knowing there's a lot of high feelings when it comes to the opinions of this case and shit. So, like, you really did endanger her and her kids.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I'm not happy about that either. Like I'm fully aware that the stuff that I have done is not good stuff. It's bad stuff. I fully admit it. I'm fully aware of it. I'm not happy with myself. So I completely understand the scrutiny I'm getting right now in your chat. That's completely understandable. I can't be mad about that because I deserve that. It's the shit that I've done to deserve it. You know what I'm saying? I take full ownership of that. I see someone asking about Uncle Taco. The Uncle Taco thing, I think, is really weird. I don't know. It's just So if this Uncle Taco person is somebody that I'm guessing is one of Seth's real life friends that would game with Sebastian and him,
Hmm.
I just find it weird that all these people that are tied to these cases always call this certain creator's show.
Right.
I mean, he got a lot of money and views off of the whole Brian Kohlberger called me type thing. A lot of money was made that month. And that was not me. I know people are still asking that. That was not me. I did not call in as Brian Kohlberger. The only one I've ever done is the Rick Armstrong, and yeah, and again, I apologize to Cluminati for doxing her, putting her her public information out, her criminal record.
But you just said T-Rev was in trouble with the law. Do you ever post his criminal record? You know what I mean? Like, what does somebody's criminal record have to do with coverage of the case? Like, I don't understand what you guys were trying to accomplish with that.
If I had to take a guess, Granny, I would say that that was probably an attempt to get the backlash off of him.
Yeah. Clues up here.
Actually, it's Cletus.
Sorry.
That's all right. She's sitting here for a doctor's appointment. Smoke, I'm just going to tell you, I don't believe a motherfucking thing you're saying. And I apologize for my language, but it's going to be how it is.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand what you're doing. And I'm just being honest about it, because to me, it looks like you're doing nothing but promoting yourself and your boy. And you're sitting up here talking all this shit that don't mean nothing because you ain't bringing the first receipt about nothing. And you're sitting up here talking, yeah, I feel bad about doing what I did. What are you going to do to right it? You ain't said a damn thing about what you're doing different.
Well, one thing I can do to right it is I removed the video off my channel.
Ooh.
I took that video down. That's not my boy. I was his friend's at one time I was his friend, not anymore.
So what's your point of coming out and talking all this stuff right now? I'm just curious. What's the gain here? What do you hope to see come out of this?
Hey, so.
Well, what I would like to see come out of this is for people to understand that with this certain case, there's a lot more going on than people realize. There are creators out here that are getting paid to spread this stuff around, to get involved with it. The whole beef between T-Rev, Seth, I think it's staged. I think there's definitely there's some kind of money going around. People are getting paid. I mean, especially if the $12,000 thing is true, which I never fully got a 100% from them. I asked a question, never got the full answer. It seemed like when I asked a question about it, that's when things took the turn for the worse for me. It seemed like that I was being targeted after that. So I'm just basically trying to tie in from what I think is going on with the corruption involving this case in general. I think there are creators out here that are secretly involved somehow, way, shape, or form to either spread misinformation or to hide certain details. And I mean, I look, Cletus, I can understand that you're upset with me and pissed off. I fully understand that. And I'm not lying to you when I said that. I mean, I know you said that you think I'm up here telling bullshit. That's not the case. I fully am 100% sorry about what I did, sharing her information on my stream. Doxing her information out is something that I don't like doing and I regret doing, and that's genuine from my heart, and I mean it.
Well, I'm just going to say it like this. If you wanted somebody to believe that and for that to carry any weight at all, you wouldn't wait for me to come up on Granny's panel. When you know Clue's got a channel, you got a channel. I ain't heard nothing out of you, so I don't believe shit you say.
Hey, that's your belief, man. That's your opinion. You have every right to your own opinion, man. there's also something I also did want to add to some of the stuff that I also did notice going on with the Sebastian case as well, Granny. So there was also a point in time too that more stuff had came out involving T-Rev and Seth. There was something like talked behind the scenes. I know there was like a big uproar because I'm guessing that someone had shared a picture of Seth sitting on a recliner, and it went all over social media. I don't know if you saw that.
I actually didn't see that.
So there was an alleged picture that went around on social media, taken from alleged T-Rev sitting inside Seth Rogers' house. He took a picture of Seth sitting in a recliner. Seth got mad, and he asked T-Rev why he took a picture of him in his house. And he said, because my Discord doesn't believe that I'm at your house. That went,
Okay.
that went all over social media. I have recently actually deleted my Facebook because of all the harassment that I've gotten from the group pages that was created by JLR, the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah.
I had to delete my entire Facebook because all I did was I asked one question in the group page about, I just said, so Seth and CP allegedly have an alibi. What's Katie's alibi? How come Katie doesn't have an alibi? And I got so much scrutiny. There are so many pro Katie people in that chat, and they all were just constantly messaging me, sending me nasty messages. Some people threatened to dox my information out. Some people threatened to kill me.
See, and I think what you experienced there was horrible, right? And that's what Clue experienced by being
Right.
pro Katie
Yeah.
and Chris. And you did the same thing to her that people threatened to do to you. And you deleted your social media because of it. So do you understand the severity of what you did to Clue?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. And I can completely understand that Cletus doesn't believe anything I say. He has every right to believe what he wants.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I feel where they're coming from. Like, you should have shot her a personal email, a private apology would have been better. I get that. Now, did Seth or did T-Rev stay in Seth's house? Like, did he sleep overnight there, or was that a lie?
honestly, I mean, I never asked that question because honestly, from what I gathered was that I just feel like that he so I remember he told me that he was never intending on being in a relationship with this woman.
Right.
It just happened. So he was just gonna move there and live there and just stream from there. And I feel like that something happened when he got there that changed everything. Because at one point in time, he was pro Seth. He considered Seth his friend. It's almost like a repeating pattern here. I consider you my friend. Let me help you do this, this, and this, and then bam, out of nowhere, fuck you, I'm done with you, type thing. It's just
Right.
like bam. He was pro Seth for the longest time. He would constantly promote his Cash App, PayPal, GoFundMe. Yeah, on his stream constantly. Every time he was live, he would always promote that GoFundMe and Cash App. Something happened when he got there that changed everything. Now, do I believe that Seth and Michaela were a thing? Yes, I do.
Yeah. Somebody asked that. So you do believe she was dating Seth?
I wouldn't put the finger on dating. It's kind of a loose term. I would say more so a fling type thing.
Right.
I mean, maybe some could say friends with benefits. Maybe I don't know. I never really asked too many details about it because it was just kind of weird. But it just seems like that something was going on behind the scenes, and once he got to Tennessee, things changed. Seth became the enemy, but I think it was all staged to make everyone think that they're hating each other. Because, like, I mean, again, I'll resort back to saying, look at the whole incident after the gun thing, and he was on the carport. I mean, why would you go to someone's house who's just told information about you that can incriminate you into the law, especially somebody who works for a correctional facility?
Right.
Asking someone to purchase a firearm for you is highly illegal. Seth knows the laws. He's a correctional officer. He has to know the laws to an extent. I just saw someone asked, I think that they all three have Sebastian, and they want me to elaborate on that.
Yeah, and why you feel all three of them are like hiding. Now, again, this is just his feelings. I mean, he does have a little insight to the games that, quite frankly, you and T-Rev played together. But
Yep.
based off of what, do you have like any, first off, I assume you have things to back up what you're saying. I don't imagine anybody would come out and pretend that they called in. I mean, so I believe you on that, but you have like receipts and stuff for things that you were saying, right?
Yes. Yes. As far as the whole call-in thing, I have receipts for that 100%.
Yeah.
Now, the stuff I'm about to talk about with why I think they're all three involved, this is
Just
what
your
this is just my feelings.
Right.
Can you do me a favor? Can you drop your email in the private chat for me, please? And I
Yeah,
will
of
go ahead
course.
and I will send over those receipts for you. I'll email them to you now real quick.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and I'll pull up my email now, and I'll go ahead and send those two over to you real quick.
Seems like people are hungry for stuff new. What's that delivered? There's on it.
So as I'm typing my email here, I will go ahead and I'll elaborate on that.
Okay.
So what happened for me to get that thought and feeling about all those three just being involved with, holding, Sebastian somewhere. If you think back, beginning of the case when Sebastian first went missing, they talked about, Seth came out and talked about how he wanted to go out and find his son and all that stuff. And if you think back to the beginning of the case, they said the neighbor came out and said that Seth's truck was seen at Katie's house. He was there all week. Now, why would Seth's truck be there all week if they were constantly at battle with each other? They didn't agree and get along with each other. Why would his truck be there?
Yeah, for a week. Yeah. Well, we
For
know
a
the
week.
first 3 days that he did stay. Apparently, he stayed in Katie and Chris's house the first 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, why? I mean, if they were constantly bickering and not getting along, and he was saying that they weren't on the same page, then why?
There.
Yeah, well, why was he there? I mean, to me, that right there just, in my eyes, that just proves that the truth wasn't being told about the case since day one. I honestly don't agree and think that I don't think that conversation that Seth had at the truck with CP was as good as what something that he thought it was, or like talking about the case and whatnot, about how they were gonna put their egos aside, and I don't think that is what was being said about that either.
Have you ever personally spoken to Seth?
Yes, I have talked to Seth twice. And it was all on panels.
Okay, on panels.
Yeah, it was all on panels. It was not like a brief conversation. It wasn't really in depth. I think me and Seth had a conversation one time about how he said that it would be nice for me to come out there and help look for Sebastian. Okay, I think they all might be on my phone here. Let me see this. But I honestly do feel like that he did cash in on my autism and used it for personal gain.
So, all right. So let me get this. So you and T-Rev had a falling out. And then he comes back and befriends you again during this case.
Yeah,
And then he would say like he bring you up as like the autism person that has experience with autism.
he would say my best friend has autism, and I feel like that he has some stuff that he can, that's what he would say to everybody on his lives. And my best, I have somebody who's I feel like has a lot of stuff connected, or similar to Sebastian, and he would always bring me up with that, and I feel like he's just cashing in on that.
Now, if you don't mind, what is your autism like spec? Like, are you high functioning or
I'm high functioning,
high
yes,
functioning? Okay.
yes.
So I'll be honest, I'm having a hard time with you because I don't know what your level of autism is, and I don't want to berate you, but at the same time, I think you're a piece of shit for what you've done. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I just really,
yeah,
I'm having a conflicted time here. Like on one hand, I understand you're exposing what T-Rev has done, and you're brave for doing that. 'Cause you're also exposing what you have done. But I
yeah.
do wonder if you and T-Rev never fell out, would you have continued on with these antics and been quiet about it all? Like how
No,
much longer? You know what I mean?
I would
So
not have. No,
no.
no, nope. I would not have, because I actually acknowledged what I was doing was wrong.
Now, so I know that you said he asked you to call in as knowing Stephan Stearns and all of that. Do you know of him doing that with anybody else? His ex did show messages that Michaela was intentionally giving him false information to go live about.
Not to my knowledge, no. Not to my knowledge.
Did you ever dox Athena on behalf of T-Rev, or did T-Rev do that?
I never doxed Athena. No, the only person I've ever doxed on my platform was Cluminati. But see, when he told me to put the information up, he told me it wasn't considered doxing because it was public information. So I blindly took that and ran with it, not looking into it.
Yeah. So you didn't realize the severity of what you were doing, is what you're saying?
Yes, I had no idea. I thought that it was public information, because he reassured me that, oh yeah, it's public information. It's information anybody can get their hands on. He's like, doxing is just when you put their private information, like their address and stuff, out.
Yeah, that's not true. So you felt like he convinced you to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not condoning my actions by any means. I'm not trying to take the blame off myself. Like, I understand why you're upset with me. I understand why Cletus and Clue's upset with me. They have every right to be. You have
Yeah.
you have every right to be upset with me. I mean, but I feel like that I have, I should have came out with it sooner. I would rather give you this information because I feel like you're more of a genuine creator. You actually, whenever I watch your show, I do admire your work. You do put in, great work and time into what you do. And, I feel like that I just wanted to come on your platform and share the information because I feel like that you don't come on here and spin stuff like a lot of these creators do.
Well, I appreciate the flattery. Thank you.
I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean,
No, I mean, that's sweet of you. I do appreciate that. I don't. Have you spoken to T-Rev lately?
no,
No.
I haven't blocked on everything. I have no intentions on talking to him ever again. And I fully mean that, ever again. I will never have a conversation with him ever again.
Yeah. And what was the main cause for this fallout between you guys?
That he thought that I had all of his haters, that, you know, and then that's the sad thing. His haters were in my chat, and that I was just out here having all of his haters in my chat, and that's what I was doing. It's just having a big show with everyone talking bad about him when nobody talked bad about him. Okay, I just now found the screenshots. I'm sorry it's taking so long.
That's right. You're friends with T-Rev's brother in real life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I get that.
And he's not nothing like him at all. You know, he totally polar opposites. I've known his brother for since 2013 as well. Never had one argument with him ever. He doesn't associate himself with this kind of, you know, the YouTube stuff. He keeps himself out of it.
Is his is his brother close to T-Rev?
I don't really know. We don't ever talk about T-Rev whenever we do talk.
So I do have another question. And again, I hope you guys I know a lot of people in our chat are upset, but I don't know you, Smoke. I don't know anything about you. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I just take you at face value, but I also don't know. You're saying a lot about your autism, and I'm trying to tread a careful line here. But you did mention a little bit back that you were afraid to come out because you were afraid of what they would do. Why aren't you afraid now? Do you feel like you've got more support of more people, or did you handle things the way they need to be handled? Like, what now makes you not afraid?
So what makes me not afraid now is I'm just, you know, I don't have that pressure of, you know, having to go up or something on his show and then have it to where all of a sudden he just flips the script on me and just completely embarrasses me. That was a fear that I had.
Okay.
Of, you know, him just turning on me midstream, harassing me, berating me, you know.
Has he done that to you before?
Yeah, he has. He's publicly humiliated me before, especially with the whole drug thing and the seizure thing. That was very humiliating for me. Because it's just, you know, when you have a serious medical condition and you have somebody that's completely just says, oh yeah, he's doing drugs on stream, you know, he's doing these drugs, and everyone's saying you're nodding out live. It's like, dude, that's not what that is. Like, if that's what you think it is, then I'm sorry, but that's not what that is. Okay, I think I just sent the ones that I had. Hopefully I didn't send multiple copies of it, but let me know if you got that email.
Okay. Truth Not Feelings is up here, and then Michelle P. and Dag. Hey, Michelle. Sorry. I'm just adding slots for you guys.
Okay. Well, Smoke.
Yeah.
I was there with T-Rev from the beginning, honey. And y'all was best friends.
Mm-hmm.
But now he booted you out. Now you're going to come clean with all this. I mean, that was some grimy stuff about that guy calling in. I actually sent money thinking that was that man. So you just defiled his viewers, and you know you've lost a lot of trust. So I'm glad you're come up here and woe is thou speech, but you got to be understanding. Some people are still angry, and I'm glad you're coming clean. I'm glad.
Yeah.
If that makes you feel better, that's fine. But that was some foul shit there, buddy.
It was. And like I said, I'm not happy about it.
Well, okay. That's all I was wanting to say, because I was there from the beginning. And if you've done all that with T-Rev and he booted you out, I hope you do whatever your point is here. Granny, I don't know what his point is, but I'm glad he's come clean or whatever.
I mean, I told her
Well,
my point.
I don't think he's come clean. So let me just take a second. If everybody would do me a favor and not interrupt me, I'd certainly appreciate it. Listen, Smoke, a couple things. First of all, I'm truth, not feelings. Second of all, I've got a real big problem with you, and it has nothing to do with Clue whatsoever. It has to do with the fact that I am also autistic, and you have made the rest of us look like complete shit with the way that you have acted, the way you have used your autism as an excuse to be vengeful and vindictive and aggressive and cause anger and issues in people's lives. I don't believe a single word that you're saying on here. I think that you're doing it to save your own ass. And if it was me giving a suggestion, I would suggest you take a couple months off of here and assess what is important in your life, whether you want to use your autism as a crutch or as a benefit to society. Because right now you're playing this poor, pitiful me bullshit. And from one man to another one, it's fucking disgusting. Now, you can come on here and act like, oh, they took advantage of me, blah, 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 blah. Fuck off, okay? Because I'm autistic as well. And don't nobody take advantage of me. Nobody, okay? And the fact that you're using your autism in a case where the young man has autism is sick, in my opinion. So maybe I'm being a little too rough on you, but you know what's not rough? You know, having a young girl who lives at home with their mom and dad worry about someone showing up at their fucking house because you wanted to get a view and a click. So technically, so you can understand this correctly, Clue could sue the loving shit out of you and you never have another thing the rest of your life. You understand that, right? And by coming on here and admitting to doxing her, you've just won her case for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like literally, you just cost yourself $10,000 or $20,000, $30,000 if she decided to be an asshole and go and sue you because you came on here and admitted to doing it. And you know who's not going to get in trouble for it? These jackasses that keep fueling your fire and making you do things like you say.
Right. You're right.
So
You're right.
at the end of the day, if you are of sound mind enough to get on here and talk about true crime and get on here and talk about cases and remember those things and remember the facts and remember all this, then you are not a dummy. And you are smart enough when someone's taking advantage of you the same way I am. You know who else has autism on this panel? At least one other person. You know whose children has autism? At least one other person. So that pulling the autistic card is not going to fucking work with us. It's just not. Sorry, bro. We've all dealt with it our whole lives, school, getting made fun of, getting beat on, getting put in bad situations, right?
Hey, I completely understand your frustration.
It's not a frustration, bro. It's not a frustration at all. It's a disgust and disdain for the activity that I've watched.
Hey, I deserve it. But you know what? I owned up to it. You know, that's the least I could have done is actually
owning
come
up to it doesn't change it though, Bubba. What are you going to do in the future?
I know.
What's the future? You know what I mean? Like, and I know I'm being hard on you, but bro, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's people's children you're putting at risk. And what if someone went out today and put your address online? Because people have your address. You know that, right?
Yep, they already have.
Well, you know that none of the people you doxed and none of the people you threw under the bus put your information out.
Right.
And you say you've only doxed one person, bro, and that's bullshit. So if you're going to come on here and put it all out there, be honest and put it all out here. Don't just come out here, you know, and put just a little bit out to kind of get everybody. I mean, if you're going to put it on the table, bub, put everything on the table because the people in the chat know that you're lying about things you've already said. So how are you going to keep lying while trying to be honest? I don't understand it.
What have I lied about?
Well, there's other people you've doxed, bro.
I've only doxed one person. Well,
what?
I put the information out about Clue.
That's not the only person you've put information out about the whole time you've been here on TikTok or on YouTube.
That's the only
if I need to go do a video, if I need to go do a video on it today, I can. Would you prefer me to do that, or I just obviously put an option out here to just be real? If you came on here to be real and be honest, don't half step it, Bo. You know what I'm saying? You got to full step it, step completely into it. And then people are going to respect you more, but half stepping it and then saying little lies to cover yourself, it's not working. People in the chat are looking at you like you're nuts.
The only person that I have any recollection of actually putting information out on was, in fact, Clue. If I put any information out of other people, then I don't have any recollection of doing it.
How do you? Okay.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest with you. I'm not pulling
Okay.
your chain. I'm not lying. If I've done it other times and I wasn't aware that I was doing it.
You're not going to
Come
try to
on,
backpedal any of
bro.
this, right?
No.
Come on, bro. You know what you're doing. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you know, you can't. You're not this dumb, bro. You're not. I'm telling you, you're not. You're not this dumb. You're an intelligent dude. Most of us autistic cats are. We just have social issues. We have, you know, dealing with relationship issues, dealing with our emotions issues. That's what we deal with. You know what I mean? And I know everybody's different, but bro, I can sit here and look at you and tell you that you and I probably are pretty close on the spectrum together. You know what I mean? The only difference is I would never go out of my way to put a child in danger or take shit real world.
Nope.
The amount of information I have in my email about so many people, and I would never put it out because that's not what this is about, yo. This is about trying to bring people home that are lost or runaway or kidnapped or whatever it might be. And you're using your, I call it an advantage. I don't call it a disadvantage, but you're using your advantage of autism as somehow as a detriment and like a disability, and it's not a fucking disability.
If I may, I don't think he was calling himself stupid. I think what he was trying to say is he thought he was helping a friend. And I'm not making excuses for him by any means. There is no excuse. But I don't think he thought that far ahead. Like, I don't think he thought,
I do.
oh,
I do.
you know,
Yep,
I
110. I do.
But
I
don't
think
know.
he did.
This is my first
I don't
introduction to him, so I don't know.
I don't think he. No, you don't accidentally. You don't accidentally put someone's address out there. You don't accidentally, without knowing what you're doing, dox somebody. That's not how this works. You know what you're doing. You know that it's wrong. If you ask, hey, is this considered doxing? You know that that's wrong.
Yeah.
He wasn't taken advantage of. I'm so tired of people acting like people with autism are always taking advantage. We're everyday fucking humans.
Hey, Truth, I will admit right now and tell you that when I was putting out the information on Clue, I knew it was wrong.
What did you think was going to come out of that?
Oh, I'm a bully for calling out the. Oh, y'all are ridiculous. Y'all
No,
need to life.
no,
He's not
no.
being a bully by
He's
any
not being a
means.
bully at all, you guys.
No, he's
Y'all
not.
are ridiculous.
I mean, guys, I don't think he's bullying me at all. I
He's
mean, I
not.
just think he's being hard. You know, I mean, that's, you know, hey,
It's called tough love, guys.
Right.
That's what it is. Okay? So what did you think was going to happen by doxing her? That's my one question to you. Sorry to interrupt if I did. I didn't mean to, bro.
well, so I already knew nothing positive was going to come from it. You know, it was something terrible to do anyway. It was just an attempt to get the negativity away from him, is what he wanted me to do it for. Was to put information about her because everyone was putting information out about him. He's like, hey, go put this out so that way, you know.
So he physically asked you to go do that 100% just like that.
Yes, that's why I did it. I had no run-ins with Clue. I never.
We know. That's what didn't make any
yeah,
sense.
I never came in her chat. I never had a problem with her. I didn't even know who she was at the time. He just told me, you know, the information, and I just ran with it. I mean, it was stupid on my part and dumb and you know, the wrong thing to do, and I openly admit it.
Did he offer to pay you or anything for it, or did you think you were just, you know, helping a friend? Like, what was your benefit to it?
I thought I was just helping a friend.
And
I mean, he mentioned something about, you know, getting views, which is what always equaled out for him, is to get these views for my channel, 100K. If you keep talking 100K.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Truth. Did you have any other things you were saying to him?
Well, no, I listen, I understand, right? I get it. I get the idea that you can try to please your friends, and it is something that goes along with autism, especially. I can only speak a high functioning autism because that's what I am, right? I can't speak on someone else's experience, right? But earlier on, you know, Smoke, you said you're high functioning, so that gives us kind of a range to understand each other, right?
Right.
And so when I look at it, I go, there's no way this man did not know what he was doing was wrong. You said you did. I respect you saying that, right? But here's the problem, Bubba, is that you went ahead and you did it anyway, taking all of the responsibility on your head. And then your response to that is, well, I have autism. And I guess my whole point to this isn't about the doxing. It isn't about anything like that. It's about you're in a position, bro, to be a representative for those of us who struggle with things, but also excel in things. You have an opportunity to be a voice for those who are not high functioning on the autistic spectrum, who can't speak for themselves. And I just want to encourage you to please
Right. I
take a
dropped the ball.
second. Well, no. I'm not even saying that, Bubba. What I'm saying is, like, please just think about what you can do positive on this platform with your autism, as opposed to using it as a reason why you did things. Does that make sense? Because, bro, I know it's hard. I fucking know it's hard. And as an adult, it's even harder than it is when you're a kid.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Oh, look. So I think you misinterpreted what I was saying. I was not by no means blaming autism for the stuff that I've done, and I would never do that. What I was saying is, I think he took advantage of my autism to use it to his benefit, to get money, to get views on his show, to help build a reputation for him, because now it makes him look like a good person, that he's bringing his friend that has autism up on his panels.
Well, I think it does to you, but it doesn't to the rest of us, because we all saw
right.
You didn't see what we saw. We saw that he was taken advantage of. We saw those things. You know what I mean? And if you go back and listen to some of our lives, we speak very, very intensely on the fact that, this kid, and I say kid loosely, no disrespect, but this kid is being, he's being used. But on the same note, you have a responsibility, Bubba.
Yep,
you have a responsibility, not only as an adult, but also as someone with autism, to present us to the public in a manner in which people want to continue to or start to respect us for our words and not our actions. You know what I mean? Like,
amen.
That's what I want to get across. And anybody thinking I'm being rude to them or mean to them, sometimes someone that deals with the same thing you deal with has to just be raw with you. I don't dislike Smoke. I just think he made a really fucking stupid decision.
Yeah, I agree with you. I did.
I take it as your guide and him to be like, listen, I deal with what you deal with, and there's no excuse for it. And to be fair, I think he was saying with the autism thing that like T-Rev befriended him again because of this case, to be like, oh yeah, my best friend with autism. But then in private, T-Rev's like, oh, you autistic fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Is that text message real, or was that made?
Yes, it was real. It was real.
Okay,
that was all real. Every bit of that we.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It was all real.
Because I actually had an ex-mod. An ex-mod of T-Rev sent me that from the Discord that night and was like, I was so disgusted I left, but there was no way to validate it, and I don't know who Smoke is.
Has he ever approached you that way before in the past with other situations and talked to you that way?
Mm-hmm.
And you've allowed you've allowed
it? Well, next time he does that, if there's ever a next time, smack the shit out of him.
There won't ever be a next time. I've gotten rid of him. I'm done with him 100%.
This is why physical altercations should be acceptable. Right here. This is why we should have mutual combat. You run that mouth, I should be able to tell you, let's step out in the road.
But no, truth.
I'll tell you what, someone calls me an autistic fuck, I'm driving to their house. That's a promise.
But
and
honestly,
he's not lying. He'll do it.
But truth, I will say this. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to use my autism as an excuse. I would never do that. What I was trying to say is I feel like he was using me to help build his platform.
We never heard about you until this case. So that says what to you? What does that tell you?
It tells me that he's not as big as what he thinks he is. Or
it just tells you that this case is involving an autistic child. Woof! Here's my in right here. I'm gonna use my autistic buddy to get me in the door to grow my channel, to put out more of my bullshit. Excuse my language, but it's fact. It's fact. Okay. You can't let people use you like this, dude. Like I know it's not even just it's ridiculous.
For some reason, I thought that he actually cared about the friendship, and I was wrong. And I've made it the thing where I said 3 strikes you're out. This isn't the first time.
1 strike you're out, Bubba. Cut those other 2 strikes out.
Yeah,
I mean, this wasn't the first time this actually happened.
That's what my next question was. What else have you done this for?
Well, no, I ain't talking about the doxing stuff.
Well, not just doxing, but how many other times has he used you to advance himself in the platform that we're on the cases we cover?
So, this was a few years ago. This is back whenever the whole Wild Bill Upchurch thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
He inserted himself into the Upchurch Creek Squad drama.
Yes, he did.
And he used me to go on a channel of a guy named Uncle Danny Raw Nations to
Yep.
harass this guy.
Yep.
And this guy wind up just completely, losing, going on the deep end. I mean, it got to the point where this Uncle Danny guy threatened to commit physical violence by going to the Cotton Eye Joe show.
There we are.
And beating his ass.
That didn't happen, by the way.
No, but it could have been a bad situation once again. Okay. Now, my other quick question to you. I'm sorry if anybody's trying to get in. First of all, thank you for having me up here, Granny. I appreciate it. Did you go to TBI with any of this information you have?
TBI?
Yeah.
No. Because I can't prove 100% of it if there is anything involved and tied. Now, what I can say, though, that I am 100% sure, I saw it. I think I saw it one time on Truth Not Feelings channel about how he mentioned with the whole carport thing with Seth.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did.
So that time that I was on panel with Seth and T-Rev, I immediately noticed that the carports matched. I've been to the house before. I paid close attention to the detail of the property.
Sorry, hold on. That guy Smoke, I hate to interrupt you. When did you go to that house?
I went to that house maybe 3 weeks ago. So I had talked about going there to what was like supposed to be us looking for Sebastian, helping search for Sebastian. That was the plan. That was the purpose of my trip. I was supposed to go down there and help search for Sebastian. When I got there, we didn't do any of that. The whole day was consisted of talking about his drama. We never once went to search for Sebastian.
He never does. He never does.
Yeah. We did the ghost hunting shit, and then he made that all about him as well. And then I started getting really bad vibes. Like me and my son cut out and early, and we left. And I never intentions on ever going back. My son even came to me and told me that he had bad vibes. He's like, "Dad, we should probably go. I don't trust this guy at all." I'm like, "All right, well, that's all I need to hear. You tell me that one time, we're out of here." And we left. We didn't search for Sebastian. That was my whole plan, was to go down there to make the drive. I wanted to get with Seth, and I wanted to do a search because I feel like some of the areas down there wasn't searched, thoroughly. I know some areas down there that kind of looked weird that I thought maybe we could spot to check. We didn't search. And then, a week or so later, I go on his panel. And this is after the whole gun incident thing came out about him allegedly buying him a firearm. And I noticed the carports matched. I was like, wait a minute. That's Michaela's carport. What's Seth doing there at her house if they are bickering over a pistol? I mean, he just basically admitted to, almost committing a felony, a straw purchase, having someone purchase a firearm for him. That kind of is weird to me. Like, why, if those two really are having this falling out, why is he in there on the computer and then Seth's out on the porch? What's really going on? Then that's when I started asking myself, is this all really just a big ruse? Like, is Sebastian truly really missing at this point?
Where do you think Sebastian is?
I think he's with a family member. I think Seth, Katie, and Chris all three know where he's at. That's why Seth stopped searching since April.
What makes you think that Katie and Chris know about it?
Yeah.
I think they all three know about it, because if Seth only knew about it, then they all three would take the fall. Because they're all three considered parents.
No, that's not how it works at all. If one parent did something, then that parent is the one that takes the charges. Not all three get charged. So I guess my question again is, what evidence or facts do you have personally that makes you believe that Chris or Katie or Seth, use Seth last though, Chris, Katie, or Seth are guilty?
I don't have any facts or proof. It's just a speculation I have. It's just an opinion.
Based on?
Just from what I've seen in the past of this, how everything's been transpiring.
what I'm asking is, what are those things? Like, I'm asking you to
Oh,
give me
sorry.
That's what we're asking.
Okay, so some of the stuff that I've noticed, like, see, I personally think that Sebastian never made it home that night. I think he left with somebody in the family from Texas Roadhouse.
Even though law enforcement said he made it home?
Yes.
So you think law enforcement is lying?
Yes.
And you're right, and he's wrong, and law enforcement are wrong.
What would law enforcement have to gain from lying about that situation, though?
I think there's a corruption involved in the police force there.
Based on
just perception of what's been going on with the case, with people going around taking down flyers, stopping, impeding.
So let me ask you this. Smoke. You're not from Hendersonville, are you?
No.
Okay, you understand that the state of Tennessee has a law that no paper goes on to utility poles, and if they do, the utility company will remove them?
I did not know that.
That is absolutely a law, specifically in Hendersonville and Davidson County, or Sumner County and Davidson County. So if you put any type of flyers on anything that is owned by the electric company or the power company in general, they will take it off. So with that being said, and I'm pretty sure you could probably contact the road department there in Sumner County, and they would tell you the same thing. So if the county took them off because of the law, then wouldn't that indicate that that's not corruption? It's following the law?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You have a solid point.
Okay, so then what's our next thing? And I'm not trying to listen, I think that Chris and Katie could be just as guilty as anybody, right? Let me make that very clear. Absolutely. I just haven't seen anything yet, evidence-wise, that would say, yep, they did it. Or even to the point where I could stand here on a platform and say, I believe they did it, because believing something is like, I believe in the unicorn. You feel what I'm saying? I know they're not real, but I believe in them. It's kind of
go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just, and I just want you to understand that, like, it's okay for you to open your eyes and see some of these other things that may have been, shadowed to you because of maybe the group of people you were around. But I would encourage you to, with an open mind, go back over, go look at some of Nonsense's going over all the interviews. Go look at Cluminati's interviews. Even here on Granny's Watching, look at some of hers. And I encourage you to really dig deep into this case a little bit more without the blinders on, and you might see things differently. You know what I mean?
And you made a statement that I've used it in a couple of my shows, actually. I think Truth has too, once or twice, but where you said, based on your knowledge and what your interpretation of it was that Seth Rogers is two different people, one person in real life and one person out here. What gave you that perception of him? What made you say that?
So there was some people that came up on T-Rev show one time that formerly worked for Seth that came out and said that Seth was not who he is on the camera or the panels.
Mm-hmm.
He actually was out there sexually harassing women that worked for him.
Mm-hmm.
He would constantly, ask females perverted sexual questions. And, that's when I started to realize, okay, well, who's the real Seth Rogers then? Like, if this is who he's coming up and portraying to be, and trying to put on an act or whatever to, push the Cash App and all that stuff and whatever, it just made me open my eyes about Seth. Now, what I was saying about Katie and Chris is just my opinion, and you've already proved me wrong on some things about the poll, so I had to retract my thought.
Anytime you'd like to have a conversation over facts and evidence, I'll be more than glad to have that with you. I just think that if we're going to be people, and I don't even consider myself a creator, right? I'm just a person with an opinion and a loud mouth. All right. So, but sometimes we got to be responsible for our words, right? And if we put things out there that inadvertently or directly affect someone else's life in a negative way based on non-truths, then we, as the person who put it out, are responsible for that, right? So if we've put out bad information, it is our responsibility to go then and do either another live or a video, correct the situation and make a public apology. I feel this is the thing. You have to use the same amount of energy making amends as you do to making the problem in the first place. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying?
Amen.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So,
And
I mean,
there's enough misinformation that's been put out in this case. This is the child. We are all Truth, me, Clue, I'm sure Granny, and a lot of other people are very personally invested in this case in a lot of ways. It's affected us all in a deep way, guy. You know, and it's important to us. We've all put it out in a lot of ways, as you know. And to hear you come out like this, whoa, okay. So if you're coming, like he's saying, come clean with everything, come real and be real about it, and nothing but, if you want to help the situation. Otherwise, it's just creating more problems. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that I noticed with Seth is how him and Trevor Lee situation erupted. Just with him threatening him live, and then just having Tony Mathis follow up with the text messages. And that's one thing I put this out to Seth, that I would love to help get on board and help look for Sebastian, but I'm not working with Tony Mathis. I refuse to. After watching Tony Mathis hijack that TikTok account that he made for Caleb Harris to turn it into his own personal TikTok, because now it's monetized, it can get money through that. He built that entire channel up to spread awareness for Caleb Harris. Then he tore it right down, making it about him. And with the whole alleged penis thing being shown, people conversating with Seth and telling him, a lot of people have came to Seth and said, hey, I think you should drop Tony Mathis. He's not listening to these people. And these are some people who sent money to him to help support him on his journey. And he's turning a blind eye and listening to this Tony Mathis guy.
Well, I'm going to jump down. I appreciate it, Granny, for letting me come up. I certainly do. Smoke, I wish the best for you, boss. I hope that maybe this is eye-opening for you, and maybe you'll take a different approach and maybe look at things a little bit differently. And I hope that maybe you come to some peace with all of what's been going on. But at the end of the day, just remember, this is an advantage that we have, right? It's not a disadvantage. And when it's used the proper way, we are unstoppable. Okay.
But I want to say again, guys, I am truly sorry for what I did to Clue.
Are you gonna say that to her yourself?
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
That's commendable. If you're gonna do that,
yes, I will.
Needs to be done, in my opinion.
Yep.
And thank you, Truth. Also, so you haven't gone to any law enforcement whatsoever with even the how can I say this? Like, even the thought of what you think this may be at all as a tip, per se?
No, because I can't prove it. And I don't want to contact them with something I can't prove 100%. It would waste their time. Just, give them hearsay or just my opinion. If I don't have, groundbreaking proof to back that 100%, I don't want to take them off the task of them possibly working on something right now that could tie in and get information out there that could maybe solve the case or help get it on the right track to solve it. Like right now, it's just speculation that what I've seen.
Well, speculation, there's always a tiny little bit of truth in every speculation. So something makes you think or feel, and I'm not attacking you by any means. I'm just
right, yeah.
I just, something makes you think or feel that he's with a relative, possibly. Is what you were saying.
A relative or a close friend, yes. Yes.
And is there any one specific thing that makes you come to that speculation or that theory?
No, not one person in particular. Because
or a specific action that was done by somebody.
It's honestly just been me analyzing it and just watching how people act. For where I got the basis of that theory at is just watching how they all act in the months leading up. I've already seen, the rumors are starting to pile up sky high. Seth hasn't searched for Sebastian since April.
Okay.
Why did he stop searching? Does he know the truth? Like, does he know there's no point in searching anymore? I mean, he was so gun ho about getting out and searching in the beginning. Why did his attitude and demeanor change completely?
What's
And
your go? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
oh, and I was just gonna say, and I just thought it was weird that how at the beginning of the case, the neighbor came out and said that she saw Seth's truck at the Proudfoot residence for like what 3 or 4 days straight. He was staying there. Why would they let him stay there if there was just all of a sudden this massive arguing and slandering of one another, and then you had the whole web sleuths thing come out where I thought it was going to come down to blows between those two. Like one person could say for sure, looking at that picture that JLR put up at the truck with CP and Seth, that does not look like a casual conversation to me. That looks heated.
It could. Yeah, I can agree with you on that. If I real quick to ask you a quick question offhand from where we were at real quick, but it just came to mind. Like how did you, if I can ask, get Cletus's information the way that you did?
It was sent to me by T-Rev.
Did he state how he got it?
He said it was just public information. If I had to take a guess, Michaela got it.
Say that one more time.
If I had to take a guess, Michaela got the information. And it was forwarded to me.
Okay. Gotcha.
I've never went out and searched any of it myself. I didn't do any searching for the information. I never did any searching. I just put it on my platform.
So, like in the past, along with that, like has he ever come to you and said how or why he gets his information, or you know what I mean? Or does he just go looking for? Okay.
No,
just trying to understand. That's all.
No, that was just my understanding and what I think is where it's coming from. He's got either his girl doing it or someone working with him, his mods or something, is doing all the digging. It was just thrown to me to put up.
What they keep coming, I keep seeing in the chat AI comments. Were you using AI to pretend to be Seth or any other people involved in a true crime case?
No, that's all fake. He made that stuff up to slander me because I put out information about him.
Oh, that's what T-Rev has said about you?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a good question. I was thinking that. I forgot about that. Thanks, Granny.
Yeah.
Now going back to what we were saying before, though, like you've been around Seth yourself, right?
Personally, no. Not in physical form, no.
Okay. But you've been around. Oh, go ahead.
Only on panels like this. 2 times I've talked to Seth. Twice.
Never in the background along with T-Rev or any of that. Okay.
Nope.
Has T-Rev ever shared any of his conversations with Seth to you?
No.
No. But that's true, Angel. He said he heard that on a panel. He said he heard on another channel, which honestly was this channel, and as well as JLR's, that Seth was, inappropriate with women.
Agreed. We've heard it too in other places too. So
yeah.
Have you? No. Let me ask this question too. That's actually another question I was going to ask. Do you know how long Michaela and T-Rev were actually talking for?
I do not. All I know is that he was moving out of his ex-girlfriend's house and was moving down somewhere he said was close to the case.
And when did that come about?
March.
In March.
You're echoing, Cletus.
In March. So in March, he said that he was moving down in Tennessee so he could be closer to the Sebastian case or whatever. And he said he was just moving in with somebody. And if I had to assume, I would say I think at the time that Michaela was either talking to Seth or maybe in a relationship that wasn't publicized. They were maybe talking to one another behind the scenes.
Okay.
So one could assume that if they were in a relationship, that he came in and just screwed things up. Maybe a personal vendetta between him and Seth, maybe.
Okay. Go ahead.
Dale, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing right now? How you sitting up here breaking bread with this wannabe Slim Shady motherfucker? Like, I'm just curious. What are you doing right now? What
I
are
was
you doing?
just
No.
asking the same questions Truth was, trying to figure out if it's true or not true. Waiting for you, truly.
Why? But here's the problem. Here's the problem. And this is exactly what is wrong with people today. You can't trust a snake. You don't know if anything he is saying right now to you is truth or a lie.
Very true.
And
Very
you're going
true.
to sit up here. No, very true, very true. And you're going to sit up here and be nice to him, bro? I got you. Play nice, play patty cake with this little son of a bitch. You got a loyalty problem, Dago. On God. You got a real fucking loyalty problem. For real. And I hope everybody, how many people is in here right now? Over 1,000? I hope they all see it for themselves. Because let me tell you something. If it would have ever been anybody put your motherfucking information out there, you think I'm going to sit there and play nice and talk?
I asked him if he was going to
You got
apologize to you live. That's what my question was mainly. Why I
This
came up here.
motherfucker ain't apologized to me once, bro. He ain't apologized to me once. What are you
And that's
talking
what I
about?
said to him. I said, "Are you going to give a public apology?" That's one of the main questions I
Fuck
asked
no,
him.
he's not. Because he's a pussy, bro. That's a
Yeah,
pussy.
Clue, I am sorry for
You
what
don't
I did to you.
understand that?
Clue, I
There it
am
is.
sorry for what I did to you.
You are
Hey,
sorry.
I understand.
Look,
I understand you're mad.
You don't understand. Hey, let me speak. You don't understand, bro. You don't have to tell me you're sorry. Bitch, I already know this. I'm not Dago. I'm not Truth. I'm damn sure not Granny, who was like literally gonna put you up on my panel like you're worth the seat.
So then I had no way of
You say,
apologizing to you
I
then
don't
until
trust.
now. Like this is,
I'm sorry, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm sorry. You see, maybe you're just fucking stupid. Maybe you're not sorry. Maybe you're just stupid. You don't know I got a channel. You don't know I got a chat. You couldn't have come in there and said something before you come up here. Nah, bitch. Miss me with. That's exactly why people like T-Rev can tell you to do their dirty work. Because you're so fucking sorry, you're gonna do it. Piss on me again, T-Rev. I liked it. That was nice. Little bitch boy. I got issues. Oh, for real.
You could have sent her a damn email, that's for sure.
Like, I'm sorry.
You could have went into her
this
channel.
right
She's
here,
right.
this right,
Anytime.
I could have, but you know,
it's right. But I'm a pussy. Just say it. Like that. It is what it is, bro.
I'm not a
You
pussy.
show.
I'm not
You
scared.
show what you show.
I just don't think it's no need for any of that. I mean,
How
I'm
long
up
ago?
here.
How long ago did that happen? And then you break up with him, and you haven't not gone into her channel, my channel, Truth channel, and she's been in all of them. You could have done it at any time. She's right.
You're right. I could have,
but you didn't. That's the
I
point
didn't.
right there. You
Yeah.
didn't.
You're right. I didn't.
You're a
100%.
and you're a damn
And what you
liar.
did to
You're
her,
right
what you
now
did to
doing
her
nothing
was
but trying to
personal.
get fucking subs. You're trying to get subs because you know Granny's got 1,000 fucking people.
I don't even care about the number,
You ain't
who's
nothing
watching, how many
but
people are
T-Rev
watching. That's not the important
down.
factor here.
And
You're
again,
a fucking liar and a coward. Show the fuck up. You know the address. You got the balls to put the shit out there. Show the fuck up.
I know that's right, bitch.
Pull
Pull
up.
the fuck up. Yeah,
I don't know your
think
address.
I think people need to start settling shit that way. You got a motherfucking problem with me? You want to put my motherfucking up? I'm a goddamn bitch, and I will whoop you like the fucking pussy ass dude you are. On God.
You want to do something for true crime? Go the fuck away.
Hey, you all have every right for your opinions. I mean, I ain't mad about it.
Truth said the same thing, that you need to take some time off of here after what you've done. That you put their personal information out, bro. That's
yes, I did.
They purposely kept it quiet for a reason.
And
They had
it was
all
wrong
these things
for me to
that
do.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Smoke? If one day my child gets hurt, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
That would be on
What
me
are you
then.
gonna do when that psycho fucking Seth shows up in my motherfucking house? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when some motherfucker on this goddamn internet does what they fucking did? Get ass gonna be responsible? You gonna say sorry then, you son of a bitch? No,
I
because
am
you're
sorry.
a goddamn pussy. You are a fucking pussy, bro.
Look, I'm sorry for what I did. It was wrong for me to put your information out.
I don't
It was
fucking care. I don't
okay.
care. That's what you
All right.
don't understand.
Well, then you don't care
People
then.
apology ain't shit either. And that's what's wrong with half these people that watch this fucking YouTube shit. Y'all don't understand when a person shows you already that they are nobody, they will never be somebody. But that's okay. Y'all keep that little level of immaturity. I'm gonna be over here where I am, living it up. Peace.
Thank you, Granny, for having me. I appreciate it very much.
You're
You might want to
welcome.
think about all of that stuff that was said, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because ain't none of it bullshit. That's
Yeah,
the main question I wanted to come up here to ask you was if you were going to, whether she accepts it or not, what you did was indisputable.
Yeah.
It's not something that goes away, dude.
I know. It doesn't.
They're right, 100% right. What if something were to happen? Okay.
Then that would be on me. It would have been my fault, and I would
But
take
that
full
doesn't take
responsibility
it
for
away,
it.
though. Whether it's
It
on
doesn't.
you or not, it doesn't
It doesn't.
change it happening. Okay.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And
To be
I own up to that, and I take full responsibility of that. And I told, like I told her, I apologize for even stooping that low and doing that.
So back to what Truth said, again, my opinion doesn't mean anything, obviously, but you probably should just do what he said, in my opinion, if you want to make it right. Truly.
Yeah. I have a lot of thinking to do.
You got a lot more than that to do, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. And again, thank you, Granny. I'm very appreciative. So have a good day.
Absolutely. You as well.
But yeah, like I said, I was gonna apologize to her whenever she came up. She was gonna come up, so I mean, I wasn't just not gonna apologize to her for it. I mean, even if she got mad and upset, which I understand why she was. So yeah, I can definitely do a video about me admitting all my wrongs. Absolutely.
I don't think he's playing, to be honest, Remy. Or Joe Madre. I don't think he's playing. I don't think he came up with the intent on even mentioning Clue, if I'm being honest. He likely wanted to come up and spill what he knew about T-Rev. And that's the way it played out.
Well, not just that, but also some stuff that I thought was going on behind the scenes too with this whole thing. But I mean, and at the end of the day, it's just my opinions and theories on it. I can't prove any of it. It's just speculation, but.
Right. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Smoke.
Yeah.
I just have one question, hon. What was your purpose in coming in here to Granny's chat? She don't even know about you with T-Rev and that. I just kind of to just let them know what's going on, that snakes will be snakes, even though you was a part of that.
Yes, and it was more so me of coming clean and exposing myself, being involved with it too.
Because Clue has every right to be mad. She's got children.
Yes, she does. She does.
Down there with that psychopath in Tennessee. So you really, as T-Rev would say, you need to go pray about it.
I do every single day.
I unsubbed him a long time ago when I come over to this platform because I got tired of all the bull crap. But I was just wanting to know what your aim was to come up here on this.
My aim was to discuss the corruption and to admit my guilt in the corruption.
Well, I got this question. Was you ever on any other platforms dissing Clue?
No.
You wasn't?
Nope.
Are you lying?
Nope. I've only done it on my channel, and that was it.
Okay. Well, Granny, I'm going to go. I was just wanting to ask him that because I know you didn't. I've been with T-Rev. I was with T-Rev twice in the Grifton. I told you that before. And I unsubbed. But I was just wanting to know why he brought this over here. And if you're trying to come clean props, but you do have a lot to sow because I don't blame Clue at all.
Yeah.
I would be very pissed.
she has every right to be upset with me, and I fully acknowledge that.
She
And
has more than a right to be upset, honey. She's down there right around all that. She shouldn't have a right to be upset to begin with. She shouldn't have had to. Don't let people go influencing you. In my younger days, how old are you?
mid-30s.
Well, you should be over that by now.
You know what I think it was is just I got manipulated in thinking that he was a good friend, and I got used and played, and I just didn't really think that.
Well, that can happen.
I thought that he would change, and boy, was I wrong. Obviously he didn't. So.
And you're still friends with his family?
Yeah.
Because that's probably making the crowd think, well, there's still motive behind it, or it is me. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel. But I'm going to have to get off here, and I love you, Granny, and thanks for letting me on.
You're welcome.
All right.
Well, that went left, so there's that. Okay, Miss Smoke, were you on BJ's channel? Many heard you on her panel speak truth.
Yes, I was on her panel. And
What
I was on her.
About Clue?
No.
Oh.
It was to discuss the Sebastian case. And I noticed that Seth was a mod in there. And I was trying to reach out to Seth to see how I could, still be involved to help search for Sebastian. And I haven't heard anything from Seth, so. Maybe that has something to do with the whole T-Rev thing. I don't know. But I put it out there to Seth that I was willing to, talk to him one-on-one about what I can do to help with the Sebastian case, and have not heard anything back, and I have not been back on Brittany's channel.
I don't know, because I don't know the history. You guys obviously know more than I do. I don't know anything about Smoke. I don't watch T-Rev. I don't watch Brittany. I know nothing about Smoke. So I don't know what any of you are saying or what he's lying about. If you want to click the link and say it, or just write it directly out so we can ask about it. But I don't know.
What were they asking?
Something, I guess they're saying you're lying again. I don't know. You were somewhere. I don't know. I have no idea.
I came up here and I admitted my wrongdoings. I told you what I thought about the case. I have no intentions on trying to spin anything or any of that. I at least owed the apology to Clue, and I know she didn't accept it, and I know she's upset, and she has every right to be upset with me over it because I've done something terrible.
Yeah.
But I did tell her I'm sorry, and I do truly, genuinely mean it.
He went over that like 5 times already, Butterfly. The only thing Smoke knows is he only has his own opinion. Like, nothing he has is factual.
Right. It's just speculation.
Running his mouth about what, Lee Bird? He said he was on Brittany's. Now what? Like, what next comes from
I never said anything on Brittany's about anybody except for talking about the case and trying to get a hold of Seth. So I don't know where that's coming from. I've only been on Brittany's one time, and that was late at night. I came on there to talk about the case and what I think was going on, mentioning the thing about Tony. I think Tony should not be Seth's spokesperson. I think Seth should fire Tony. That's what we talked about. So I don't know where this person's coming up with that. Well, I mean, I don't get how they're saying I'm running my mouth. I mean, I'm doing what every content creator is doing on YouTube. We're speculating and we're talking about the case. We're keeping Sebastian's name alive.
Yeah. But, I mean, at the same time, you're also doing things where you're calling into shows pretending to be, connected to the people. I don't.
Yeah. And that was terrible for me to do too. I mean, I come clean about that. It was terrible for me to do, but.
Isn't your appointment at 10:30?
Yeah. All right. I had to go to a doctor's appointment, so I thank you for letting me come up and just speak.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things you have to reconsider here. I know you have a doctor's appointment, so I'll let you go, but maybe playing these type of games, and then, I mean, if you play those type of games, it's understandable why people aren't really fucking with the apology now, because You know what I mean? Like, it took for you to follow T-Rev to be honest about this shit, but the fact is you still participated in the shit, which is shitty things to do.
Yep.
Like, that was,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and there's no real excuse for it. So,
Well, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come up here and at least come clean about some of the bad stuff that I've done. And able to apologize to Clue one-on-one. So I appreciate that opportunity as well.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Whew. That was a whole derailment. Calling and pretending to be someone else is not a game. I agree. It sounds like he needs to just log it off. Smoke do an apology and leave YouTube. I don't think he should have to leave YouTube. I mean, he has to understand, though, if people don't want to accept his apology, they don't have to. And I sure as hell want it either. All of this just still raw, is fresh, is new. I don't appreciate being insulted for letting this guy on my panel. I've open panels all the time. I knew nothing about this guy, what he's from, where he's from, what he did, what he didn't do. I let the guy speak. That's what I do with open panels. So. No, he didn't come here to apologize to Clue. He came here to expose what he knows about T-Rev and behind the scenes. He didn't come here because of Clue. Proof he wants fake AI comments from Seth. What on what Facebook? On what page? Never heard of him. Right. I don't think he's going to gain subs from this. I don't think anybody was really rocking out with it. I mean, the guy admitted that he called in and pretended to know Stephan Stearns. We all knew that was fake, but most importantly, T-Rev knew it was fake. Or single layered. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa Beach. I mean, this is what I've always done. I allow people a place to speak. That's it. Pull it up. Let me see. I don't see it. Most of all, T-Rev. I don't think it was right to use some of those words that were go Jessica didn't around. She gave him a chance to come clean. He did what? Pretend to know Stephan Stearns? Yeah, he said that T-Rev asked him to call in. I mean, I never got the emails, so I'm looking again, but I never got the emails that he said he asked him to come in and pretend to know Stephan Stearns. He has a job. He's not interested in how many people sub and click. There was nothing wrong with Smoke coming on a panel. It was done with true intentions. I don't know what his intentions were. Click newest activity. All right. But that goes to show, which the whole point of this is Seth Rogers is surrounded by filthy people. And here we have it again, where that's exactly what you see. You see filthy people. I mean, these are people, he just admitted that not only was he doxing for people, but he was pretending to be people in these cases. Newest activity. I still don't see it. Maybe you can direct me to it because I don't see it on here. Maybe just take a screenshot of it. I don't even know what I'm looking for. All right, what am I supposed to see over here, pretty? Face at the stream, like all streams about to hits. Seth is a lying pig, but that's okay with some of you. That ain't okay with me. That's the whole point of this. But in that, he exposed himself, and most YouTubers here would never admit wrong. Already says I would be hot as heck too, but the F comment was jarring. Which actually, I'm going to have to end this stream because that can be reported, and I'm going to lose monetization off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I will edit it, put it back up public, but I guarantee there are people just reporting away right now. Respectfully, I didn't know this guy. I didn't know what he did to Clue. I don't know what he didn't do. I was giving him a chance to speak like I do with everybody. It's an open panel. People can come up and they can say what they want to say. Here's the link. All right, let's get that. He's not new to YouTube. He's obviously not new to fuck shit either. Thank you, Miss Brittany. All the men started acting like humans till Clue came. Oh, Katie. Enjoy your grandchildren. If you haven't, please hit the thumbs up. I'm just waiting for what Pretty Pink wants me to see this really bad. She's saying it's smoke with AI or something. I try, Cheech. I try. I can only go off what I know. What is this?
Help afterwards with living expenses. You all know I'm having surgery today and could really use some help afterwards with living expenses, cigarettes, food, and maybe even enough to help me help someone with their house payment. Since I won't be able to work, any and all donations will make a difference. You all know I'm having surgery today and could really use some help afterwards with living expenses, cigarettes, food, and maybe even enough to help me help someone with their house payment. Since I won't be able to work, any and all donations will make a difference. You all know I'm
Is this the AI you're talking about? No, this is AI, Chopper. This ain't real. Thank you so much, One Shot. Yeah, it's definitely fake. I think this is what Pink wanted us to see. And I think she's saying this was... You're saying this was done by Smoke? I don't understand. No, this ain't it. Well, I don't know what you're trying to show.
having surgery today and
I have no idea what it is that you want me to see over here. I don't think there's any question if Smoke is a piece of shit or not, right? That's never been the question. Smoke is a piece of shit. Smoke has done shitty things. He's interfered and missing cases. What Madeline Soto went through is nothing for anybody to joke about. There was no reason for anybody to call in and pretend to know Stephan and know all those weird shit things, knowing that that case was a high-profile case and that little girl suffered at the end. Not only did she suffer at the hands of that monster, she suffered in her own home for years to come. And the fact that anybody would orchestrate a fake, friend or relative or anything in these cases for likes and views and donations is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. I was in no means making excuses for Smoke. I don't know Smoke. I don't know the backstory. I only know there's only so much somebody can do. If Smoke said he was sorry, he said he was sorry. If it's accepted, it's not. There's nothing that can be done about that. I wanted to hear what he had to say about T-Rev, period. Thank you, Michelle Pay. That is absolutely sick. And that's what he was exposing, that things like that were going on. All the other shit was, I don't know nothing. I'm just saying, don't run with anything that comes out of his mouth, something that's not right. Yeah, I'm waiting for the emails of the proof that actually happened, that he was asked to do that he didn't just do that himself. Are you coming back after you had him repost? Maybe. The other morning we were going over Steph's truck that night, BJ started playing Taco. Is it just me or anyone else remember? No, but I know they're all fucking fake. No, you're right, Jameson. All right, guys, I appreciate you being here. Let me go edit this shit out so I don't get demonetized. Appreciate you all being here. But yeah, I very much am not going to lose my monetization over this. So I appreciate you all. I'm sorry that was stated on the panel. I'm sorry that people were angry. I'm sorry that Clue was angry. I don't know the backstory between everybody. That's all I can say. And, open panels comes with it. Appreciate all of you. See you later.